TruckWorld TV, sponsored by Auto Trader Trucks.
Welcome back to TruckWorld TV from our home from home here at Junction 38 Services on the M6. Now later on in the programme we'll be chatting to some of the drivers here to get their views on congestion charges and whether drivers, particularly of larger vehicles, should be charged to go into city centres or banned altogether. And that is sort of demonstrative of a shift in the industry towards more smaller, more efficient.
Yeah, the market seems to be polarising a little bit more, going either very heavy or very light, and that's a big change. Now, you've probably noticed, unlike in Series 1, the road tests for this time have been concentrating on the urban delivery vehicles, as we consider these to be the unsung heroes of the industry. And that also seems to be the same for the judges of the International Truck of the Year, because for 2016, the winner is the Iveco Eurocargo. The new Eurocargo is based on the previous $500,000 selling model, but with revised functionality, efficiency, safety, and of course, a brand new look inside and out. Now, when it comes to trucks, we know very well it's not about how they look, but the Eurocargo does look quite nice. It's got this nice smiley face, as Iveco call it, but of course, underneath the smiley face, it's got some practical things as well. Lifted up on gas struts, we've got all the daily checks that are required. They're all bunched in here, which is great, which makes it more efficient and safer for the driver. Now, the great designs outside are continued, thankfully, inside the cab. And one of the main areas are the seats itself. First of all, the driver's seat, nicely sculpted, a bit like a rally driver's seat, to be honest. And then the one thing that impressed me more than anything else is the dual passenger seat. Normally it's flat, but here they're sculpted. Well done to the designers at Iveco for that. In the cab also you've got plenty of storage space, and you've got tons of coat hooks actually, not just one, you've got about 4 or 5 I think it is. If you look inside there, overhead, you've got the storage areas, you've also got the tacho, and you've got the radio, and you've got some nice cross-cab access as well, which is obviously really required in urban delivery vehicles. And last but not least, you've got what the future's going to be. We've got the telematics systems. Iveco call it the unified telematics platform, and that's the way it is. And here, it will tell you, it gives you displays on the tachograph itself, what's going on, i.e. driver's hours, etc., what we need. Also looks at coaching style, so it coaches your driving, etc. And then also gives you sat-nav information and data. And that's all in a 7-inch screen. What are the prerequisites for a city truck? The strangled parrot is our indicator, as always. First of all, automatic gearbox for me. Here we've got the ZF 6-speed gearbox, and it alternates. We've got a simple system here, 3 buttons, D for drive, obviously, N for neutral, and R for reverse. You can flick between auto and semi-auto by pressing the D. Second thing you need in the city is obviously great visibility. This vehicle isn't sat down as low as you get with our Asian vehicles, like the Canter, Asian based, the Canters and the Isuzus, but again, you've got good visibility, nice big wide windscreen. We've got our 6 mirrors, our class 5 and class 6 mirrors, so we've got a full set of not only in front of us, and also I can see well behind me as well, and you feel like you know what's going on around the truck, which is really vital. It's a really comfortable driving position. Nice big rest here to put your arm, which is what you want. Certainly I need that, and getting to my age. And it's really, really comfortable. You feel relaxed, and that's what I want. When I'm driving a truck, I don't want to be, I feel like I'm hassled. And I certainly don't want to feel when I'm in the city that I'm really struggling. We've got an engine brake system here, so I've set it up so that when I take my foot off the brake, then the engine brake kicks in as well. I like that because obviously the one thing is maintenance and repair. I'm not using the service brakes, so that means obviously I can save a little bit on the ventilated disc pads that are all the way around on this vehicle. It means the fact that the engine's doing all the work, which is what I want. They're designed for it nowadays. And more importantly, the engine braking systems are more efficient. They're not like exhaust brakes of the old days. They're really efficient engines, and we should use them more. That's what it's there for. For me, stick everything in auto as much as you can. As far as the auto gearbox is concerned, I mean, one of the things that I call automatic gearboxes, certainly first generation, second generation, were like goldfish gearboxes. And by what I mean by goldfish is, you used to take a gulp of air between the gears. You all know what I mean, where you went into a gear, it went into first, and then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, it went and then went into second gear, and then went into third gear. Well, this gearbox isn't like that at all. It's a nice transition. I mean, I'm up to 1500, 1700, and now it's made that nice transition. It knocks down between gears around about 400 RPM. So I went down then from 1700 RPM, switched across, and it went down into 13. So a nice slick gear change. It allows you to concentrate on the road, which is what it's all about. It's all about safety in the city. So the Iveco Eurocargo, apparently the truck the city likes, and after driving it, I must admit, I love the gearbox. ZF, 6-speed auto, really, really efficient. Why we haven't had auto gearboxes in urban delivery vehicles 10, 15 years ago, I will never know. Great cab environment, and Iveco also said you'll save about 8% on the previous model as well. So that combination, I can see why this vehicle is a worthy winner of the European Truck of the Year 2016.
You're on a roll with these road tests, another one that you genuinely seem to have a fondness for. I mean, in the car industry, there's not really any bad cars anymore. There's different cars for different uses.
It's the same in the truck industry. You know, it's the days gone by, 15, 20 years ago, there was, you know, a band of very good ones, middle of the road, and some poor ones. Nowadays, and also they start using the same technology, the same component suppliers, and, you know, Iveco have moved on in terms of that, and Eurocargo is just exactly the same. It is a good, really, really good everyday vehicle, and you know, it's your I don't know, your Vauxhall, your Ford of the commercial vehicle industry.
Yeah. Now about this congestion charge, because obviously that's the sort of vehicle that would perhaps be less taxed or less levied against to go into. Yeah,
because it's a Euro 6 anyway. So
cities. Yeah. Do you think they should be stopping the bigger vehicles?
I think really big vehicles, i.e. 44 tonners. I think it's not the natural habitat, if you like, for a heavy truck to be in there. But yeah, I can see, rigids. That's where we start saying, okay, then yeah, you should be allowed in there. And more importantly, it's not so much on the size; it's also on the emission levels. Those are the big things. So, Euro 5, Euro 6, the new and the alternative fuels that we talked about last week on the electric vehicles. Those are sort of things that we're changing. So it's not so much the size of the vehicle, although that's a facet of it. It's also about what fuel and how they actually get there and how clean they are.
But is it not just yet another tax on an industry where
some people might say that
potentially people work
an indirect tax
extremely hard and get chipped away, fuel costs, tax costs, running costs?
If you're in the game, you're going to take it. I'm sorry, it's not a nice thing, but it's the way it goes.
Yeah, well, let's see what the drivers here at Junction 38 have to say about taxes and levies and congestion charges in their industry.
Certain times of day, yeah, but you have to get your trucks in to get your groceries, your clothes, whatever else. So how are they going to get it into the shops? Even you go in a 30-foot trailer, there's still an Arctic lorry going into a city. So they have to have some sort of way of doing it. So it has to be either night time or during the night or some way. Maybe during the day ban them, yeah, but night time you still have to get your stuff into the cities.
Well, you shouldn't know to go into the city centres. You should stay on the motorways and dual carriageways and that, because wherever you go to like RDCs and that, and it's nowhere near centres, you know what I mean? So you've got no reason to go there.
Bring it on, as far as I'm concerned. The most hassle we have is in city centres at the moment with congestion and, dare I say it, cyclists. So as far as I'm concerned, they can ban all trucks from all city centres.
And what do you think is going to happen to our goods? How are they going to get in?
Well, eventually someone will realise that trucks can't be done without.
Well, I don't know how they're going to get the goods into the city centre. I mean, they're talking about sending it all by rail and this sort of stuff, but the railway doesn't run down the main street of the town or anything like that. So it's a case of you've got to get it into town somehow, and if it's going to mean more and more little delivery vans, but they can only deliver a certain weight or there'll be more and more vans on the road. That's going to be the thing, isn't it?
But how are you going to get your groceries or whatever? How's folk going to get fed? How are you going to get your fuel? How are you going? No, you can't. You've heard all these stories for years and years. But at the end of the day, who's going to deliver the stuff? How are you going to get the A to B if you stop the lorries going and doing their work?
That's it for another episode of TruckWorld TV. I certainly hope you've enjoyed it. And don't forget, keep the messages going either on Facebook or on the website. And also don't forget the Twitter handle, which is...
Yeah, TruckWorld_TV. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
TruckWorld TV, sponsored by Auto Trader Trucks.